Attention! This is an emergency alert broadcast. This message is being transmitted on all available frequencies under direct authority from the Office of Emergency Management. Listen carefully. This is not a test. A mandatory shelter-in-place order is now in effect for all residents of Arlington and the surrounding areas. This directive is immediate and legally binding. All individuals must remain indoors, secure all entry points, and take immediate precautions to minimize exposure to the outside environment. Do not attempt to leave your home or seek relocation. Authorities report a rapid and severe escalation in incidents of erratic and violent behavior among the affected population. These individuals exhibit unpredictable aggression and pose an immediate threat to public safety. Under no circumstances should you approach or engage with any person exhibiting these behaviors. They are to be considered highly dangerous. If you encounter such individuals, do not attempt to reason, assist, or subdue them. Instead, immediately retreat to a secure location and fortify your position. If you are currently indoors, lock all doors and windows. Reinforce weak points with furniture or barricades if necessary. Turn off all lights and remain silent. Avoid drawing attention to your location. Do not respond to any knocks or calls for help unless you can verify the identity of the individual beyond any doubt. Ensure you have emergency supplies such as food, water, medical kits, and self-defense tools readily accessible. If you are outside or in transit, seek shelter immediately. If you are in a vehicle, abandon it if necessary to find the nearest secure building. Avoid major roads and public areas. Reports indicate that high-density locations have seen the most severe incidents. Do not attempt to reach loved ones unless they are in your immediate vicinity. Unnecessary movement puts you at severe risk. If pursued or confronted, do not engage. Evade, conceal yourself, and wait for conditions to improve before attempting relocation. Emergency response teams are under strict orders to enforce containment protocols. Due to the extreme nature of the crisis, any civilian seen violating the shelter-in-place order may be subject to immediate detainment or lethal force if deemed necessary for public safety. This is for your protection. Any individuals observed outdoors after this notice should be considered at risk. Those in violation of the shelter-in-place order may be exhibiting signs of exposure or erratic behavior and should not be approached under any circumstances. Remain calm, follow all directives, and above all else, stay inside. Additional updates will be provided as new information becomes available. We thank you for your cooperation.
Attention. Listen. Obey. Survive. This is an urgent emergency directive for all citizens of Alexandria. Effective immediately, a mandatory curfew is now in force from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. During these hours, movement is strictly prohibited for all civilians. Only pre-authorized emergency personnel will be allowed to travel through designated zones under strict security protocols. Anyone found violating these restrictions will not be assisted and may be subject to immediate intervention. This is not a recommendation. This is an enforceable order. Emergency coordination centers are being established at undisclosed locations to manage critical infrastructure and ensure the continuation of essential services. Due to escalating threats, the locations of these centers will not be disclosed to the public. Do not attempt to seek them out. Do not leave your assigned safe zone under any circumstances. Power and communication grids are currently operating under emergency protocols, but intermittent blackouts and signal disruptions may occur without warning. All citizens must prepare for possible long-term isolation. Stockpile essential supplies immediately. Food, water, medical necessities, and emergency power sources. If you have not yet done so, Secure your residence and establish communication with trusted neighbors or family members within your designated safe zone. Authorities will enforce strict containment measures. Any attempt to leave a designated safe zone will be met with immediate and non-negotiable restrictions. This includes physical deterrence and, if necessary, direct intervention. Security forces are under orders to prevent all unauthorized movement for the safety of the public. If you are caught outside without clearance, you will be considered a security risk. Your safety matters. Thank you for your time.
Attention! All residents of Richmond and surrounding areas, due to extreme and rapidly escalating dangers, the following locations are now classified as restricted zones and are completely off limits. Shockoe Bottom, Manchester District, the Fan District, Scots Addition. These areas no longer fall under the jurisdiction of standard law enforcement agencies. Public services, emergency response teams, and law enforcement have ceased operations within these zones due to overwhelming risk factors. If you are within or near these areas, do not expect assistance. Unverified but consistent reports describe a rapid breakdown of social order within the restricted zones. Eyewitness accounts indicate violent outbursts, aggressive behavior, and mass disorientation among the affected population. These individuals display erratic, unnatural movements and show signs of extreme confusion and hostility. Some reports suggest they do not respond to verbal communication and may act unpredictably when confronted. It is imperative that anyone still within the restricted zones remains unseen and unheard. Do not draw attention to yourself. The safest course of action is to stay out of sight, reduce noise, and avoid making contact with anyone exhibiting abnormal behavior. Evacuation will not be facilitated. No emergency teams will be deployed to retrieve individuals who remain in restricted zones. If you are inside one of these areas, you must not attempt to leave unless you are absolutely certain of a safe route. Do not travel alone. Do not assume passage through these areas is secure. Do not rely on normal urban landmarks for navigation. Conditions have changed. Anyone attempting to cross into or out of a restricted zone may be met with immediate intervention by containment forces. Approaching checkpoints or secured perimeters without authorization is considered a direct threat to public safety. Security personnel will not hesitate to enforce this mandate. If you are inside a restricted zone and unable to evacuate safely, adhere to the following survival measures immediately. Barricade yourself in a secure location. Reinforce doors, lock windows, and remain as silent as possible. Avoid open areas and main streets. Any visible movement may draw unwanted attention. Conserve all essential resources. Supplies may be limited for an unknown duration. Do not use light sources at night. Even brief illumination may attract attention. Monitor emergency broadcasts. Updates will be provided as conditions change. This is not a temporary designation. The situation within these areas is severe and unpredictable. Failure to comply with this directive may result in fatal consequences. Further instructions will be issued as soon as possible. Until then, stay vigilant, stay silent, and do not take unnecessary risks.
This is Jordan Michaels, broadcasting live from WAV 97.5 FM. We are tracking multiple escalating situations across the eastern seaboard. To those still listening, your safety depends on immediate and absolute adherence to all issued directives. Our latest updates: Arlington remains under full lockdown. Alexandria's curfew is being aggressively enforced. Richmond, your situation is deteriorating rapidly. Multiple districts have been classified as restricted zones, with confirmed reports of severe public disorder and widespread aggression. Authorities have yet to confirm the underlying cause, but internal reports describe affected individuals as detached from rational behavior, hyper-aggressive, and immune to standard de-escalation techniques. If you are still in a secure location, remain there. If you are outside, you are already at risk. Now, I want to ask you, our listeners, something important. We keep hearing reports of these people, if we can even call them that anymore. The way they move, the way they act, it's not normal. It's like something else has taken hold. Law enforcement doesn't have an official term yet, but people have started whispering names in the streets. Some say the hollow, others say the broken, or even the starved. But what do you think? What should we call them? Because sooner or later they will have a name. Send us your thoughts, if you're still out there. To the emergency responders, law enforcement, and volunteers still holding the line, your work does not go unseen. Your sacrifices in these past 24 hours have saved lives. But make no mistake, we are facing an event beyond any known precedent. Further updates will follow. Stay inside. Stay silent. Stay alive.